Hey guys, what's up? It's your Super JL. Welcome back to my channel. We talk about all things money, finance, and entrepreneurship. Guys, in today's video, we are going to be talking about 7 college degrees that are literally a scam. So a lot of times when we think about getting scammed, somebody took our credit card, they run up a bunch of stuff on our credit card, somebody, stole something from a bank, they're a thief. That's what we think about when we think about getting scammed. However, there are multiple ways to get scammed. Selling somebody something that you know doesn't work is a scam. Convincing people to take out thousands of debt to pay for your product is a scam. Convincing somebody that your product guarantees something that it doesn't is also a scam. So with these degrees in particularly, these are degrees that not only don't lead you to a job, but they're also things that you can learn how to do yourself. So on average, a college degree costs you between $20,000 at the low end if you don't get a full ride, all the way up to hundreds and thousands of dollars. And a lot of people pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for these degrees and end up leaving college with no job. Useless degree and you don't have a job. You got scammed. Coming in at number 1, the very first useless degree is advertising. Advertising is what companies hire you for to promote their product. However, advertising has changed. With the rise of social media, advertising has changed. When it comes to college curriculum, it can take up to 12 to 18 months to create a new curriculum, get that curriculum approved by the board, and within that time of 12 to 18 months, Facebook and Google have already updated their software, updated their websites, their new ways of placing ads 3 times in the course of 18 months. So I think that going to college to learn how to use Google SEO, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, it's pretty much impossible. Like, how would they teach that to you? Advertising is a skill. We do need people to advertise businesses for other people. However, it is a rapidly changing skill. So it's going to be up to you to constantly stay up to date on what are the new changes in advertising on social media. But with all that being said, it is definitely something that you can teach yourself. And when I say teach yourself, because I'm going to be saying teach yourself a lot throughout the course of this video, I don't mean going on Facebook ads and just like staring on the screen until something pops out on you and you know how to teach yourself. You can take courses, you can read books, but all of that is significantly cheaper than going to college and getting a $30,000 degree in advertising. A degree in advertising isn't going to help you get an entry-level job anyways, because the majority of advertising, people who are hiring for that, they need to see your experience, they need to see your portfolio, they need to see if you actually know how to advertise business and have your advertisement actually resulted in sales for the company. So if you want to get into advertising on social media, my recommendation would be, first, take some courses on how to use Facebook ads. That's where you could start, because once you know how to do Facebook ads, Instagram ads is right down the stream. Then after that, I would start becoming very familiar with Google SEO. Google SEO stands for Google Search Engine Optimization, how to get your keywords to rank in search. So when people search for something, your product is one of the first ones that comes up. That's essentially, in a nutshell, what search engine optimization is. After that, I would start learning the algorithms of each social media platform: Instagram algorithm, Facebook algorithm, TikTok algorithm. TikTok has been very popular in promoting businesses and things of that nature. Once you have an understanding of the algorithm, you'll have a much better understanding of the search engine of that particular platform, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to get your advertisement in front of people. Coming in at number 2. This first one I was gonna leave out, y'all, because I was like, ooh, this seems like it's a little bit above me. But no, coming in at number 2, we have computer science. Wow, taken aback. When I was doing research on this video, I was really surprised to find out that computer science is not actually a very useful degree. Computer science, like advertising, is also a major where your technology is constantly changing and you constantly have to keep up. And college classes cannot keep up with the amount of change. So we'll have a curriculum on computer science, how to teach computer science. But in 2 years, the curriculum is outdated because there's been so much advancements in technology that that's not even how you do it anymore. A lot of what you do in computer science, the end game, the final product of what you're doing, you can learn how to teach yourself. I know it sounds like very broad, like, oh, you're going to be working with computers, that's so technical, but really when you get down to it, what is a computer science degree for and what type of job are you going to have with it? A lot of the things you can teach yourself. Computer programming, how to fix viruses, building a software, building a website, learning how to code. Aren't people building like their own gaming computers? If you can build a gaming computer, you do not need to go to college for a computer science degree. You figured it out. But in all seriousness, there are plenty of books that will teach you how to code. There are plenty of books that will teach you how to build your own software. There are plenty of books that will teach you how to build your own website, not a Shopify website, an actual website from scratch. But that money that you are going to be taking to spend on college, you can take that money and invest it into your learning, invest it into buying a computer, investing into starting your own business, invest it into other things instead of sitting in a desk for 4 years. Coming in at number 3, we have my favorite major of all time, philosophy. I'm going to read to you guys what a philosophy degree is, and you tell me if you think that this is a useful major. A philosophy major is a humanities degree path that will challenge students to examine questions with no right answers, as they will become familiar with notable thinkers and diverse worldviews. Majors will learn to think critically, identify and evaluate arguments, and engage in moral and ethical reasoning. That is what a philosophy degree is. So essentially, you're going to college to learn how to think. You're going to college to learn how to think. Wow, didn't know I needed to pay 30 grand to learn how to think. Didn't know that I couldn't just purchase a book off of Amazon to provoke my knowledge, to examine questions with no right answers. Whatever that's supposed to mean doesn't sound like a good idea to me. But I'm just saying, that's just me. When I read this definition, the first thing that I thought of were the most useful majors to major in when you go in college are STEM, law, and medicine. Those degrees pretty much guarantee you as much as they can, without college saying I guarantee you, they guarantee you as much as they can a job, because those majors have jobs that are in very high demand. Philosophy in general, taken out of college, is great. Philosophy has given a lot of great thought, a lot of great innovation to society. However, when it comes to college, don't spend $30,000 on a philosophy degree. Go to Amazon, purchase a book by Aristotle, and keep it pushing, because absolutely not. Coming in at number 4, we have communications degree. Now, the first time I ever heard of a communications degree, the person who majored in communications told me that communications is basically the degree that you get when you want to go to college and party all the time, because it's basically such a broad degree that you pretty much aren't specialized in anything, so it really doesn't take much to earn this communications degree. And if you have a communications degree and you're watching this video, I'm not crapping on your degree. I'm sure you worked very hard to earn your degree. However, when it comes to communications, just like the philosophy, it just seems like this is another one of those degrees where I'm paying for something, but I'm not getting any skills in return. A communications degree builds strong writing, interpersonal, and critical thinking skills. Communications majors can specialize their degrees by concentrating in journalism, technical writing, mass communication, or public relations. So the main issue that I was seeing with this degree is that when I was looking at the different type of jobs that you can get with this degree, the jobs were so broad. Like, it was everything from social media manager to politics, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is so broad. And you might think that that's a good idea. Get a major in a broad degree so that way I can pretty much get any job with that degree. However, people who employ were actually having the adverse reaction, because you are not specialized in anything, because your degree is so broad, you're not focused on any particular skill. You don't have any particular skill that you've mastered, or not an expert, because expert takes years, but you're not specialized in anything. And it's not just communications majors who've been having that issue with their degree being too broad. It's also business administration and things of that nature, where you're just not specialized in anything. So it's kind of like, yeah, I know how to do everything. So, I mean, if you just listen to the list of jobs that you can get with this degree: public relations specialist, meeting and event planner and development officer, media planner, social media planner, humans resource specialist, business reporter, health educator. Like, this is all over the place. It's all over the place. And another thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of these jobs, you can learn how to do this yourself. Media planner, social media manager, meeting and event planner. You can learn how to do these things yourself. You don't need to go to college and get a degree in communications to be a social media manager. If you're going to go to college, make sure that you're specializing in a specific skill, so that way when employers hire you, they know exactly what it is that you can do. Coming in at number 5, we have art history. Now, I was gonna approach this like super intellectual, but after like doing research, I was like, this is just a silly degree, and that's all I have to say. Any well-meaning person who actually cares about you and wants to see you succeed will tell you that you will learn way more about the history of art and the history of whatever if you were to actually go to France, go to Greece, go to Italy, go to Spain for a month and just see the art for yourself than sitting in a college classroom for 4 years. Which would you rather do? Spend $10,000 to travel to Spain, Greece, France, and Italy, see the Colosseum, see all of the wonderful works of art history, or give $50,000 to a college and have them teach you art history for 4 years. 2 of those years, you're not even learning about art history because you're in your prerequisites. So you're paying college to learn about art history, so meanwhile you're sitting in a math class. So which one do you think would be more beneficial to learning about art history? Going to see the countries or sitting in a college class? It's common sense. Art history is just a silly degree. It doesn't make sense. Those are one of those filler majors that we were talking about. So when they go to the college fairs, it can look like they have a whole bunch of things for you to major in, but really like 90% of those is just nonsense, just things that are going to take your money. That's what art history is. It doesn't make a difference if it's art history, dance history, music history, unless that degree is coming from Juilliard or Berkeley Boston Conservatory. That degree is not going to help, not one bit of difference to help you get a job. Unless the only type of jobs that you'll be able to get with those degrees are literally an art history teacher, a dance history teacher, or a music history teacher. But even then, why history? Unless your parents are paying for it, which is even, it's like, why would you want to waste your parents' money? Or unless you're getting a full ride scholarship, there's no rational justification for majoring in these art history, dance history, music history type degrees. Coming in at number 6, we have psychology. So when a lot of people say they're majoring in psychology, the first thing they think is like, oh, if I major in psychology, then I can be a therapist, then I can be a counselor, which is true. Now, typically when people major in psychology, they major in psychology to become a therapist, to become a counselor, and things of that nature. But I just think it's important to know, in order to become a therapist, a clinical psychologist, any type of counselor, you need a PhD. A bachelor's degree is not going to cut it to become a therapist, because a therapist is a doctor. So getting your PhD, that is a lot more school and that is a lot of money. Because if you go to college thinking that I'm going to get my bachelor's degree and that's enough for me to become a clinical psychologist, a therapist, or things of that nature, and once you graduate, just a regular psychology bachelor's degree isn't really going to help you with any other job, because of outside of getting the PhD, what a psychology degree is good for, you essentially, once again, it becomes very broad. You'd be better off majoring something more specific so you have an actual skill. I mean, the type of jobs for just a regular bachelor psychology degree include human resources, marketing, education, business, and healthcare. So if you're majoring in psychology to become a therapist or a clinical psychologist, you need a PhD. PhD. If you want to be like a school counselor, that only requires a master's degree. So that may actually be more feasible for some of you all. But PhD, that's up to 10 years of school sometimes, and just take in consideration the amount of student loans that you will have to take to obtain this degree of being a therapist or a clinical psychologist. And coming in at number 7, the 7th most useless major is entrepreneurship. In order to notice if this is a useless or a useful degree, just ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what is an entrepreneur? Number 2, what is the point of a degree? Once you get those 2 questions answered, you'll know this is not for me. This is not going to help me get to my goals in any way, shape, or form. A degree. What is the purpose of a degree? The purpose of a degree is to qualify you for a job. So when you go to apply for a job, you show your job the list of qualifications. They're like, oh, you check this box. Oh, you check this box. We're going to hire you. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is somebody who starts their own business. They work for themselves, meaning you're not applying for a job. So if you're not applying for a job, why do I get it? Why do I need a degree? That doesn't make sense. I completely understand the argument that, you know, if you go to college, major in entrepreneurship, you might learn some skills that'll teach you how to run a business and all that jazz. However, all of the skills that they're teaching you in college, 9 times out of 10, you can learn on YouTube, or what they're teaching you is an outdated practice anyways that you could have learned on your own. Because what I find is, with my own personal experience, when I was in college and I was taking an introduction to entrepreneurship class, the lady who was teaching the class hadn't even owned her own business before. She was the manager at a lot of high-end hotels in Vegas, and it's just like, I completely get that, but I don't want to manage the hotel. I want to start the hotel myself and own it. So this is not, you're teaching me about entrepreneurship, meanwhile you're not even an entrepreneur. That's why for people who want to become entrepreneurs, I direct you out of college to YouTube, to online courses for people who have started their own online business, have made money. They show you the results. They love showing you their nice cars, their nice shoes, their nice watches, which is fine. You've earned it. But these people have started their own businesses and they're telling you what to do. You're not learning from a professor who's just teaching out of a curriculum, who's never started a business themselves. You're learning from actual people who have started their own business. So once you just start going through every single point, going to school to major in entrepreneurship is literally it's just a complete waste of money. It's not going to help you become an entrepreneur. You're wasting 4 years of your life. If you want to become an entrepreneur and you start your own business, I'm telling you right now, starting your own business costs a lot of money. And the last thing we need is to be spending unnecessary money on college degrees where that's money that you could have put into your business. So I don't see the point of getting an entrepreneurship degree. If you have an entrepreneurship degree, let me know in the comments down below. And what is your justification for getting your entrepreneurship degree? I believe that it is a waste of your time and it is most definitely a waste of your money. And if you're trying to be in entrepreneurship, those are the 2 things we cannot waste: time and money. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any of these degrees that I mentioned, comment in the comment section down below. Let me know why you decided to get these degrees and we can engage in civil discourse. Of course, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you like. That's the same thing as giving it a thumbs up. Okay? Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. In the meantime, stay strong because I love you. Bye, guys.